Gord, nice to see young guys, Rowell and Rupert, jump into this one and get some production on those guys.
Yeah, not only just to score goals, but they played pretty good minutes and very reliable players. Obviously, they've been well coached in the past by their junior coaches, and they've come in and given us a really strong option to put four lines together.
I know we talked a lot during the week about veteran presence and rookie guys, but a second-year guy like Josh Levo, you needed him produced, don't you?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those things where you look at the score sheet at the end of the game and it's 4 points, and like good for him, because the things that he was doing paid off offensively, but also defensively. He was, he's a fiery guy. He's a real competitor, and he plays with a lot of emotion, and he channeled that emotion in the right direction tonight, and really brought the battle element out of him.
When they came back and took the lead, it was obviously a flat point on the bench, but can you talk about the team's maturity to rally from that? What happened?
You know what? They didn't get emotional, and it's things that we talked about is that, when you're going to go through those kind of periods, and against a team like that, they're going to get offensive chances, and we responded very well. The two goals that we responded with, Matt Rupert gets in on a forecheck, turns the puck over, get it back to the point, and get a tip-in goal. And then the other one was a great battle by Matt Fratt, and same thing, get the puck back, and we go to the net and score. So, those are the kind of playoff goals that you gotta score.
The whole forecheck team was strong at times, certainly in the second half of the game.
Yeah, it was, and then the one thing that we were really wanting to talk about was that we weren't throwing everything at them. We were disciplined with our forecheck, but we definitely took away a lot of time and space and created some turnovers. The other goal was, I think, the Lipsick goal was a back pressure. They had puck control, and which is part of your forecheck, and we created a turnover, get another goal off that.
Lipsick in particular seemed very good at causing turnovers and a heavy forecheck. Talk about that combination.
Yeah, they've been really good like that all year, and Brownie, he's just got a knack for finding pucks, and obviously size-wise he's not going to bowl a lot of people over, but he's just so tenacious on it, and he's got a really good stick, and same with Leipzig. I think he's a guy that he's probably watching other players watch the other side of the bench there, the way those guys come back hard, but certainly Connor Brown's a guy that he can learn from too.
Center on that line, Ryan Rupert. He's back in the same room as his twin. How happy is he to have his brother back?
I think they've had a lifetime, obviously, of feeding off each other, but playing together in junior, and they had some chemistry in junior, and we thought about keeping them together as a line, but we just like the combination with Brownie and Leipzig up to this point. But they're guys that definitely feed off each other, and there's a comfort level, and there's an edge to them that we certainly like too.
I know he's a positive guy, but was he more happy just to have his brother back with him?
You know what? I always joke with him and say, you can actually say hi to me if you want, Ryan, because he's such a quiet, reserved guy that I wouldn't know one way or the other. You have to seek him out of the room there sometimes to get something out of him, and but the two of them, it seems like they pull a little more ebullience out of each other.
You feel you're getting chances on the power play tonight, even though it seemed to struggle, at least in the stats?
Yeah, we scored right at the end of one, which I think that gave our guys a little confidence on our power play. But we still got to get more. I thought we did a good job on the most part with our entries. It's getting more looks, I guess, and when the shots are there and we have a net front presence, we got to take them, and that's something that we got to keep cultivating.
Surprised there were that many chances out there tonight with the extra man?
Yeah, they were throwing everything at us, but the battle side of it really came out, and there's a desperation to it.
Gord, the 2-goal lead is widely known as one of the toughest leads to defend in hockey. Going back to that when Grand Rapids comes back, especially in a game where every small little mistake counts, talk about the resiliency from your group today?
I think it carried over from our 5-on-5 is the battle level, and resiliency is part of battle, and you know, we ended up going in a lot of those areas that were 50-50 pucks and came away with them in those situations, and that's a huge part of it.
Or these guys have been pretty solid, even strength all season. How much success is based on the fact of the way you guys play five?
I think that's you know, something we really pride ourselves in. You know, we talk about the, you know, time back in December when our record was what it was, and we had a lot of minus players at that point, and the big thing is we weren't scoring goals. We still were pretty diligent defensively, but you know, now that we're able to score a few more goals and to carry it over with our defensive side, then you know, I think it's been a pretty positive thing for us.
7 guys tonight in the lineup who weren't in the opening night lineup. How much of the goal scoring comes from the fact that there's a lot of roster change?
Well, yeah, certainly, you know, there's some key guys that have come into our lineup, you know, and we've gone through them, the Leipzigs and the Frattens and Byron Freys, you know, those are guys that have driven us offensively, and the other guys that, you know, the Josh Levos and Greg McKeggs and Sammy Carrick, they got off to slow starts, and they've all picked up their game offensively. So, you know, we feel like we can come at teams with a lot of different angles here, a lot of different players.
They have Pulkkinen back, but they don't have Mrazek. Can you talk about their lineup and what sort of challenges they present to you?
You know what? They play the same way no matter who's in their lineup. Boy, they come at you hard, and they're a 4-line team again. I think they're a little bit bigger than what we faced 2 years ago when they won the Calder Cup. They're bigger, but they play just as hard. So, you know, that part of it is always a challenge. They're very well coached. They're very well structured, and you know, they have some dynamic players in the Marlies and Pulkkinens too.